Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a few days since my last vlog, but I thought I'd catch you up on all the things I've been up to. I've been working a lot, been making some good money here on the island. Boats ain't free, so gotta do what you gotta do. But in my work, I've scored a few cool, new, interesting things I want to show you guys. And first off is my new set of wheels. Oh, so badass. Oh, yeah. All right, this being a senior citizens island, this was bound to happen, but I was moving someone and they wanted to throw this thing out. And so this is a mobility scooter, and what it lacks in cool factor, it makes up for in sweet, sweet power systems, because underneath this shell is everything I need to make myself an electric dinghy again. Beep boop beep. Okay, we're done. We got a counter full of gear. Let me show you what we got. All right, first off are these great AGM batteries with awesome little connectors. Here's the matching set of connectors. The wire loom that's attached to these. These two are 12 volt. I haven't checked the voltage yet. We've also got this. This is a Dynasty Rhino 70 amp. There you go. And yeah. This is basically the bottom of the line, but it's still a full-on speed controller. So that's the real deal. So I'm gonna check and see if that's flashable. It's set up for 24 volt, which is both too high and too low for me. So I don't know, maybe I'll do something with it. But anyway, 24 volt. Here's the motor. I have to say this, by the way, Europeans, you don't have to deal with this, but Canadians, we're always switching between metric and imperial. It's a real pain in the arse. So they have to tell us, oh yeah, by the way, the cart was imperial, but this thing will be metric. Probably because this motor's made in Asia and, you know, people are smarter over there. All right, so this is just your general brushed 24 volt, 25 amp motor. So that's a 1 horsepower motor, give or take, not too bad. And then, of course, a bushing to cut down on vibration. Less excitingly, we have a charger that only does 3 amps, kind of pathetic. We have a breaker. Those are always really nice. They're actually kind of expensive. Got a couple of female connectors for those setups over there. We got a whole entire wiring loom with fuses. Very useful because it's actually very basic. And then we have a turn signal indicator. Beep boop, beep boop. Don't know what I'm going to use that for, but that looks like a lot of fun. And a button and a switch. So, good haul. Not bad for free. So, we are going to forget about the 24 volt system for now because I don't have anything to make use of a 24 volt system yet. But I'm going to do a little bit more research on the motor, see if I can run at a different voltage. If I can get it up to 48, this would make a perfect winch motor. Since I have a gear reduction gear already on there, I don't need something that's super fast. This will do the job just right. Secondly, I'm going to check the voltage on these guys, see what condition they're in, and they might become the new battery bank for the dinghy, and I could stop making 2-stroke, mixing gas, slapping ass, mixing smoke, making noise. The next step is to check the voltage on those batteries. Alright, well, these batteries might be pooched. Both of them are reading 0.5 of a volt. I feel like that's not right. 0.5. Alright, so these batteries are pooched. So I'm a little bummed about the batteries. I'll try charging them up, see if I can get anything out of them. I'll spend the rest of the evening getting this circuit board out because it's got an Allen key and I don't have that Allen key, so I'm gonna figure that out eventually. I also scored a really nice seat out of that thing. So I'm definitely gonna use that on something. Completely unironically, old man seat. It's actually really comfortable. So, cockpit somewhere? Yeah. Alright, welcome to day 2. I'm going to introduce today's sponsor of today's episode. Dear Fami, they sent me out this amazing stand-up paddleboard that fits in a bag. This thing is really, really tiny, and they assure me that it will keep me afloat. So we've got the case now. This is one of those like rolling cases slash also backpack. The main thing I want this for is the Sea Lark. You cruise over to like a city destination like Vancouver, and you don't want to leave your dinghy on the dock because it's going to get jacked or somebody's going to mess with it. Well, you don't have to when you have a stand-up paddleboard like this. So we're going to inflate it and see how it works.
I heard these are hard to get back in the bag.
Well, that's the thing. This pump actually goes both ways.
Oh, sweet.
It's an air pump, but
it's
also
a
an
bi-aerial
air
pump?
So I think it's going to be a lot easier to get in the bag because you can just vacuum it. Remember too, it's a stand-up paddle board, not stand-up paddle inner tube. So you really have to get that pressure up.
Does it have a pressure gauge?
It does have a pressure gauge.
This is going to be nice.
This will be nice because
it's going to be like 20 pounds.
A lot better.
Yeah. Did you lose much air when you did that?
No, it was just a little done. This is a company called Dear Fami, which I've never heard of before. Making a product that is the most affordable on the market. With these kinds of things, and you're looking at the most affordable, you really want to know, does it suck? Or is it, you know, a good deal? Put the little fin in there.
Ooh, are you supposed to put that on now or before? Oh, look at that. What's that, 8 feet?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Near future.
It's been a while. Oh, I suck at this. There's a dinghy there.
It doesn't have a very big beam either.
No, I mean, it's okay.
It's sweet. It'll be fast.
Yeah. All right, 15 PSI is the magic number. That got me good. We did a little test run, went over here to the Campfire Island just behind me and checked it out. And I really like it. It's fast. I am not a good enough paddleboarder to risk this camera right now. I've already got a lot of other broken things in my life. So we're gonna let Liz take the paddleboard out and we'll get some shots of it in action you can appreciate. I got a bit of flex. All right, playtime's over. We used the vacuum pump, deflated that bad boy. She's drying off, and we're getting right into a little bit of sanding. Girl. Yeah. First of all, got this sander just the other day. Thank you to patrons who sign my paychecks so that I can buy new belt sanders. This is my favorite thing ever right now. This is like one of the cheapest belt sanders they make on Amazon right now in Canada. It's Black & Decker, but it's got this little fine point which does a really good job of like carving really close. This has already outlasted every belt sander I've had on this boat so far. So awesome. Cheapest one, best one so far. Now this is a lot of sawdust, but it's starting to come together. It's supposed to be book matched, but I guess I just a little bit offset this one. So we got a nice cool dark coloration and I don't have it matching on the other side, but you flip it. This side matches up nicely, and a little butterfly kind of print. That's really cool, eh? So, got that, and Then we got the other half here. She's looking pretty good too. If I had a big drum sander that costs like $50,000, this would probably go a lot faster, but I don't have those things, and I don't have a thickness planer or drum sander or anything like that, so I'll just make do. So it's just a painstaking sanding and then checking with a flat edge to see how flat I've gotten it, and then sanding some more and just marking the high spots. Keep working, keep working, keep working, keep making more sawdust and get it down to something good. Alright, so we've got the trusses here squared off. I need to lay in an epoxy filler. I'm going to dye it because I don't like white filler in the middle of my bit, but yeah, not the best piece of wood to use, but it'll be strong in the end. And then this took ages, but now as you can see, nice and flat, or as close to as possible. We got 2 stands, 2 slabs, and the next step will be to cut them down to the exact right shape and leave as much live edge as possible. But it being another day and me having nice fresh clothes on, we're gonna try sanding, but outside. I'm joined here by Patrick.
Hey.
And Patrick is local to the island here. He stopped me at a gas station and said, hey, I want to come on your boat and work as slave labor. I said, okay, that sounds great. So we're gonna go and scrape off the last bit of paint on the hulls. We got a nice new sander, so we're gonna make some nice sanding jobs of it. It should be a lot tidier and a lot faster than it was before. Here's hoping.
Do what I want. Do what I want. Do what I want. You do what you want. Do what I want. Do what I want. Driving on the El Camino. On the one-on-one, shit's fun. Like no one's telling me anything. Winning all faces, the crazy pace. The gear and the B, the G. It's that happy feeling when I'm out with the gang, cruising on the street. I'm a freak, cause I'm free in my thoughts, free in my thoughts, not a product system. It fucks with your life rhythm, and you being you, don't let it affect this. Shit's reckless, man, read the happy feeling. The feeling is healing, the feeling is healing. Winning all faces, the crazy pace, the gear and the B, the G. It's that, it's easier just to leave. Hey, it's that happy feeling, it's that. Fuck negativity, fuck negativity.
Yeah, constantly keep.
Yeah. It's the heavy feeling. Yeah, it's the heavy feeling. Fuck negativity. Yeah. When you find a heavy feeling, your heart's breathing once again all day long. Smiling like the biggest champ. You the biggest champ in the world, can you earn it? Getting fresh in a whole new state of mind, where people are dancing, taking chances, changing their circumstances.
There we go.
Feels like I'm at resistance there.
Yeah, so you're at your full height now. That's good.
I think so.
So the deal was, he sands half the day, he sails half the day.
Yeah, immediate transaction.
Immediate transaction. So how do you feel? You're well, you're sailing for the. Is this your first time sailing ever?
No, I've been on a sailboat before. I think we were sailing. I think, yeah, we had enough winds to sail. Probably kind of like this right now.
We don't really have enough wind to sail right now.
Well,
we're doing it anyway. We're just sitting here because it's summertime, BC, which means it's Motor City, baby. Look at all these guys. They're huge, you know, city-sized boats passing us by. We can surf their wake. Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Another day, another tide. We're back here at the old mooring, by the way. I don't know if you guys caught that yesterday, but it's really odd to be back looking at the same view out the window and, you know, what feels ostensibly like a completely new boat is back at the same old spot. Some of us are going to get some work done this morning. Some of us are making use of the hammock and relaxing. Yeah, looks tough, honey. All right, I'm gonna get back to it. Okay, a little chunk of sanding done. The tide is already coming back in, so this was a short one, unfortunately. I only really want to be out here sanding when I can have a tarp down, because the vacuum hookup on this sander isn't quite as good. I've taped it, I've tried a bunch of different methods up here, but it's just not pulling as much as I'd like off of there. So there's some getting on the ground, and therefore I need a tarp. So I'm only able to sand for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then I gotta go sand on the deck. The glass job on this side kicked off really well, nice and lean. So it's gonna need some fairing, but there's no bumps. It looks really lumpy, but that's really just a lot smoother than the other stuff I did. So I think once we get the fairing on here, we'll see it's much, much cleaner. All right, well, burned through all my my belts, so tomorrow I'm gonna have to go into town and collect some more stuff. But it's nice, you know, that belt sander does a pretty good job. We've got the back of these hulls all done. So we're gonna start laying glass tomorrow after I get some more glass from town as well. So a lot of supplies missing, but making a lot of progress. Oh, this stuff it just takes, you know, it's a big boat. There's a lot of square footage, and there's a lot of really hard, very thick paint, and I've tried a bunch of different techniques. This one's pretty good. This one's pretty good. Paint stripper, not good. Try that, doesn't work worth anything. Strongest paint stripper they have here in town, and didn't do the trick. So belt sander's doing pretty good. I really like the angle grinder, but it's lumpy. The belt sander's much flatter, and the belt sander's slower too, so it doesn't throw as much dust around, which is really nice. Wish it had a better vacuum pickup, but that belt sander I think is like 60 bucks. So yeah, it's up there. It's definitely one of my favorites. So it's gotten a little dusty because everything's a little dusty, but this is that stand-up paddleboard I showed you guys earlier. This is the case that it's in, and I've put it back in here yesterday. So that, you know, there's still a little bit of space in here, and I think that I would probably be able to jam a lot of my other stuff in there. Now you'd want to put it in a waterproof bag, because if you're taking it directly out of the water, putting it in the case, it's still going to be a bit moist. Really happy though with this thing. Pretty quick, very stable, and much harder than I'm used to inflatable paddleboards being, so I'm very happy with this. It's definitely good enough for my non-professional stand-up paddleboarding uses. So I'm definitely going to enjoy that. Honey, do you want to see if you fit in the bag? Come here. Oh, sorry to wake you up. I want to see if you fit in here. You're gonna love this. I'll tell you what, I'll take the paddles and the... Come here! Don't run away. Come on. In here. Come lay down. In here. Come on. Lay down. Down. No, you gotta scoot your butt in. You're not a fan of this, I can tell. Stand up, paddle puppy. Alright. Okay, well, we got a rolling puppy bag. That's good. Definitely a good addition to... Okay, let's see if I can get this on my back. Oh, honey, you gotta lose some weight. Alright. Well, I won't be making any hikes with this. We got a stand-up paddleboard and a puppy in the same bag. See, I told you there was more space. Alright, that's it. I'll let you out, don't worry. Just getting better with the bag. We've been doing some test runs with the motorbike, and you're loving it. Loving it. Gotta get you some doggles. We have such a good time. Alright, ready? Okay, go on. But yeah, like I said, enough room for all kinds of things, even a puppy. Now, keep in mind, I am gigantic, and that bag is big on me, so it's probably gonna be huge on you. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's episode. We've loaded up the truck, ready for our trip into town tomorrow. I want to give a big thank you to Dear Family for sending out the Steppin' Up paddleboard and for sponsoring today's episode. I'll leave a link in the description if you guys are interested. It is one of the more affordable units, and in my estimation, it definitely holds up. So I'm pretty excited to be using that on some upcoming trips with the Sea Lark. Also, I want to give a big thank you to Patrick. If you're on Gabriola and you need a boat cleaned and or, you know, even sanded, because he's pretty good at that too, give him a shout. That's what he does. He just goes around. He's been here for a little while and making his business, riding his bike around, cleaning people's boats. So, yeah, show him some love. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much. Good night.